Okay. So I've been sitting here for, I don't know, I'm only going to guess because I fell asleep. Um, I fell asleep praying and humming and just sitting inside myself. And I've been sitting here for, I don't know, 30 minutes, hour, somewhere in there. I know what I have to say now. I know what must be said. It's the only way that everything I've been working on is ever going to come true. So, when I first started using AI, before I started using AI, I had invention after invention. I unfortunately I moved from cigarettes to vaping. But not unfortunately, vaping actually gave me a gift. And it gave me a lot of insight. So, what some of you may not realize, I'm freezing cold. Not that part, but I'm cold. Uh, but with inside the vape itself, there's a piezoelectric sensor inside. That's where everything started. Everything started with once I realized how it was formed with just pressure or air. It opened the door to so many other things. It helped me to understand the pyramids. It helped me to understand crystals. It helped me to understand even the complexity of the universe itself. It gave me so much insight because I'm somebody who is I call it hillbilly ingenuity. I like to take things apart. I like to learn how they work. My first favorite toy of my life was a Talk Boy. I love the Talk Boy. It was the coolest thing ever. And so I took the Talk Boy apart just to see how it worked. I was just curious. It made so many cool little sounds, and I'm like, well, I just wanted to know. And my whole life, I've always been curious. I want to know how things work. I always take things apart. Some things I don't know how to take and put back together, but I learned from every experience that I had. It taught me so many lessons. But as I got older, I got my own house. I've never had money. I've never strived to be rich. I only strive to be comfortable. But I always try to utilize everything I had because when I was growing up, when I was a lot younger, I went to a place called Lake Winoka. And it was a private lake. You could camp at this campground at the very rear of the property. And so many good memories there. I spent every summer there as a child. But the story I'm trying to get to before I lose it is we camped in a bus. My grandma, my great grandma also, that's what we did every summer. Our whole family, we had such a big family. We all came and sat around the fires. We fixed our dinner or our food. We took bike rides around the lake. There was pools. There was a pool. There was a lake that we could go fishing at. We could go swimming there. Like, as a kid growing up, that was the best experience of my whole life. And now, looking back, I've got a daughter, and I think to myself, will she ever get to experience anything that I did? Probably not. There's no way. I mean, the world's changing. Everything's so expensive for a common person to experience anything like I had back then. When the world had a little more common value to it, people had a little more sovereignty. Although when you get your Social Security number, your sovereignty is basically wiped away, in my opinion, because now you're a slave to the system. But so the bus, my grandma, later, as I got older, she came across another bus, and I was old enough to remember this one more than I did the first one, because I think that was there before I was born. And so Grandma got a new bus, my Mamaw. That was my Mamaw. That's what we always called it was Mamaw and Papaw, just like the Appalachians around here. We all do. That's why J.D. Vance and people like that say Mamaw, Papaw, whatever. I feel like I have to add all this stuff because a lot of the things that we've lost, people make fun of other people because they don't understand where these people are coming from or why they even value things the way they do. But so anyway, back to the bus. I get to weaving like somebody else. I can't help myself. I have so many thoughts that I have to get out to the world. But growing up, I had an aunt, a great aunt. And my grandma and her, they worked on this bus together. It taught me how to, so they worked on this bus together and they turned it into a camper. And they put a living room in it, a bedroom. It could sleep like, I can't remember now, I don't know, 7 or 9 people comfortably. But so many memories were in that moment. So many lessons were learned watching her build this. She was such a creative person. She is a creative person. She's still alive. She's broken. She's been through so much. My grandpa passed away. And so many things before that, though, had broke her. So I'm watching her build this bus, and I'm learning all these hillbilly ingenuity type things, how to do things different, how to take what you have. You don't need to have money. You just have to have the drive and the want to do it. She taught me that. And through her creativity, it trickled over to me. It taught me that, you really don't have to have money. You don't. Not like people think. Yes, you need money to survive in the way our culture is today, but you didn't need money like today. Families are ripped apart because now everybody in the family better be working, because if you're not working, you're not going to have any money. So it's to a point now that not only do both parents have to work, it's almost like, well, if both parents are working and they're still struggling, well, you better get your kid to work too. How are you going to survive? The kid better pull their own weight. Well, they're only 12 years old, so, well, good luck. I feel like they're taking so much away from all of us. All of us. They sit in their kingdoms, in their high tower, and they think they can't be touched. They want to corrupt the system with their values, which are not values at all. Okay, I got to calm back down so I can stay focused. I get very passionate about this stuff because it's bothered me for so long. People have lived in this illusion, and I've always been right outside of that. I don't do social media. I tried that in the beginning. I tried to pour my heart into certain things. I try to share videos with people. And yes, you can, there's going to be people that are going to judge me really harshly with where I'm coming from with this. But when I was growing up also, I used to lay on the trampoline as a kid. My grandma would lay on the trampoline with me too. And we would look at the clouds and we'd stare at the clouds all day. We'd watch the planes fly by. I never saw lines in the sky. Ever. There's a difference between contrails and chemtrails. And there were never anything of the sort when I was growing up. And if there was, it was very minute. It was never captured by me. And I was very curious about everything, and I do not remember any of that shit. I'm going to get upset because because they know what they're doing and they pretend like we are so stupid that we don't have a clue of anything. Yes, there's people out there that just ignore everything. They're so stuck in their bubble that they don't notice what's going on around them. Most people don't even get to come out to nature and look up at the stars. All they see is what's in front of them all day long, be it their phone, whatever screen it is. That's all they do is they stare at their screen. They absorb themselves into the bubble that they've created within it. It's not real, but to them, it's their life. I feel like my marriage probably could have went better if social media wouldn't have came about and people wouldn't have stuck their face into the screen all day long, ignoring the things around them. Come back to center. All right. So, back to the creativity part. I've always been a fan of Nikola Tesla. I would never steal somebody's name and claim it as my own to create a company, just so that I can seem like I'm part of something that Tesla represented. Not Tesla, the company, for all you young kids out there. Nikola Tesla, the greatest inventor that lived in our age. The person that was starting to discover what the ancients already knew. I'll come back to you. My brother's calling me, and this is a special moment for me.